Day 127, Royal Kingdom, 2 Samuel 9, 1 Chronicles 12, Psalm 27, let's begin. 2 Samuel 9. And David said, Do you think that there could be anyone left from the house of Saul, so that I might show mercy to him because of Jonathan? Now there was, from the house of Saul, a servant named Ziba. And when the king had called him to himself, he said to him, Are you not Ziba? And he responded, I am your servant. And the king said, Could there be anyone alive from the house of Saul, so that I may show the mercy of God to him? And Ziba said to the king, There is left alive a son of Jonathan, with disabled feet. Where is he? He said. And Ziba said to the king, Behold, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Ammiel, in Lodabar. Therefore, King David sent and brought him from the house of Machir, the son of Ammiel, from Lodabar. And when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, had come to David, he fell upon his face, and he reverenced. And David said, Mephibosheth? And he responded, Your servant is here. And David said to him, Do not be afraid. For I will certainly show mercy to you because of your father Jonathan. And I will restore to you all the fields of your father Saul. And you shall eat bread at my table always. And reverencing him, he said, Who am I, your servant, that you should look with favor upon a dead dog like me? And so, the king called Ziba, the servant of Saul, and he said to him, Everything whatsoever that belonged to Saul, and his entire house, I have given to the son of your lord. And so, work the land for him, you and your sons and your servants. And you shall bring in food for the son of your lord, for nourishment. And Mephibosheth, the son of your lord, shall always eat bread at my table. Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. And Ziba said to the king, Just as my lord has ordered your servant, so will your servant do. And Mephibosheth shall eat at my table, like one of the sons of the king. Now Mephibosheth had a young son whose name was Micah. Truly, all the kindred of the house of Ziba served Mephibosheth. But Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem. For he was fed always from the table of the king. And he was lame in both feet. 1 Chronicles 12. Also, these went to David at Ziklag, while he was still fleeing from Saul, the son of Kish. And they were very strong and distinguished fighters, bending the bow, and using either hand and casting stones with slings, and shooting arrows. From the brothers of Saul, out of Benjamin. The leader was Ahiezer, with Josh, sons of Shammah from Gibeah, and Jeziel and Pelet, sons of Asmaveth, and Barakah and Jehu, from Anathoth. Also, there was Ishmael, from Gibeon, the strongest among the 30 and over the 30, Jeremiah, and Jahaziel, and Johanan, and Jozabad, from Gedera. And Elizai, and Jerimoth, and Bealiah, and Shemariah, and Shephatiah, the Harophites. Elkanah, and Ishiah, and Azarel, and Jozer, and Jashabim, from Kerhim. And also Joelah and Zebadiah, sons of Jeraham, from Geder. Then too, from Gad, there went over to David, when he was hiding in the desert, very robust men, who were excellent fighters, taking hold of shield and spear. Their faces were like the faces of a lion, and they were swift like the roe deer upon the mountains. Ezer was the leader, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmannah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Machbani the 11th. These were from the sons of Gad, leaders of the army. The least was in charge of 100 soldiers, and the greatest was in charge of 1,000. These are the ones who crossed over the Jordan in the first month, when it is accustomed to overflow its banks. And they put to flight all those who were staying in the valleys, to the eastern region and to the west. Then some from Benjamin and from Judah also arrived at the stronghold where David was staying. And David went out to meet them, and he said, If you have arrived peacefully, so as to be a help to me, may my heart be joined to you. But if to betray me to my adversaries, though I have no iniquity in my hands, may the God of our fathers see and judge. Truly, the Spirit clothed Amasai, the leader among the 30, and he said, O David, we are yours. O son of Jesse, we are for you. Peace, peace to you, and peace to your helpers. For your God helps you." Therefore, David received them, and he appointed them as leaders of troops. Moreover, some from Manasseh crossed over to David, when he went forth with the Philistines against Saul, so that he might fight. But he did not fight with them. For the leaders of the Philistines, taking counsel, sent him back, saying, "To the peril of our own heads, he will return to his lord Saul." And so, when he returned to Ziklag, some fled over to him from Manasseh, Adnah, and Jozabad, and Jediel, and Michael, and Adnah, and Jozabad, and Elihu, and Zilithai, leaders of thousands in Manasseh. These offered assistance to David against the robbers. For all were very strong men, and they became leaders in the army. Then, too, some came to David throughout each day, in order to help him, until they became a great number, like the army of God. Now this is the number of the leaders of the army who went to David when he was at Hebron, so that they might transfer the kingdom of Saul to him, in accord with the word of the Lord. The sons of Judah, carrying shield and spear, 6,800, equipped for battle. From the sons of Simeon, very strong men for the fight, 7,100. From the sons of Levi, 4,600. As well as Jehoiada, a leader from the stock of Aaron, and with him 3,700. And then Zadok, a youth of distinguished qualities, and the house of his father, 22 leaders. And from the sons of Benjamin, brothers of Saul, 3,000, for still a great part of them were following the house of Saul. Then from the sons of Ephraim, there were 20,800, very strong and robust men, renowned among their kindred. And out of the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, each by their names, went forth so that they might appoint David as king. Also, from the sons of Issachar, there were learned men, who knew each of the times, in order to anticipate what Israel ought to do, 200 leaders. And all the remainder of the tribe were following their counsel. Then, from Zebulun, there were those who went forth to battle, and who were standing in a battle line, prepared with the weapons of warfare. These 50,000 arrived to assist, without duplicity of heart. And from Naphtali, there were 1,000 leaders, and with them were 37,000, prepared with shield and spear. And then from Dan, there were 28,600, ready for battle. And from Asher, there were 40,000, going forth to fight, and summoned to the battle line. Then, across the Jordan there were, from the sons of Reuben, and from Gad, and from the 1/2 tribe of Manasseh, 120,000, prepared with the weapons of warfare. All these men of war, equipped for the fight, went with a perfect heart to Hebron, so that they might appoint David as king over all of Israel. Then, too, all the remainder of Israel were of one heart, so that they might make David king. And they were in that place with David for 3 days, eating and drinking. For their brothers had made preparations for them. Moreover, those who were near to them, even as far as Issachar, and Zebulun, and Naphtali, were bringing, on donkeys and camels and mules and oxen, bread for their provisions, with grain, dried figs, dried grapes, wine, oil, and oxen and sheep, with all abundance. For indeed, there was joy in Israel. Psalm 27. A psalm of David himself. To you, Lord, I will cry out. My God, do not be silent toward me. For if you remain silent toward me, I will become like those who descend into the pit. Hear, O Lord, the voice of my supplication, when I pray to you, when I lift up my hands toward your holy temple. Do not draw me away together with sinners, and let me not perish with those who work iniquity, who speak peacefully to their neighbor, yet evils are in their hearts. Give to them according to their works and according to the wickedness of their inventions. Assign to them according to the works of their hands. Repay them with their own retribution. Since they have not understood the works of the Lord and the works of his hands, you will destroy them, and you will not build them up. Blessed is the Lord, for he has heard the voice of my supplication. The Lord is my helper and my protector. In him my heart has hoped, and I have been helped. And my flesh has flourished again. And from my will I shall confess to him. The Lord is the strength of his people and the protector of the salvation of his Christ. O Lord, save your people and bless your inheritance, and reign over them and exalt them, even unto eternity.